Wednesday going, and how are you enjoying the holidays? And to all our Muslim faithfuls, how are you enjoying your holiday? We're going to look at record keeping and proper documentation in Nigeria. Last week, I was having a conversation with my colleague Dion Showabi of Cool FM, and we were talking about he produces his story. By the way, what we usually would listen to Tuesdays 1:30 p.m., Thursdays 9 p.m., and then Sundays at 6:30 p.m. And he was telling me how he was preparing for the next his story that was going to feature Dora Akinwumi and some of the issues he encountered or challenges he encountered while producing some of these episodes. He said it was getting available information, enough information, because some of them you will find little or nothing about them on the internet space. And even when you try to go to some quarters, some offices to source for information, it was a very difficult one. And those were some of the challenges he faced. And we trickled it down to the fact that we have a poor documentation system here in this country. And I tried to share a view with him about the lady that did this song, Nigeria, my beloved country. We live together in our home, Nigeria, our beloved country. Our future is you and me. Fumi Adams, you remember the lady? A lady like that did such a great song as far back as the 90s. It's so sad that there is literally nothing about her in the digital space. And even when you go down to some quarters expecting to source for information about her, you would find little or nothing. At a point, people were asking the question, where is Fumi Adams? And where are some of the other people that existed before now? They don't know information about them. If she's dead or alive, nobody knows. Now, away from Fumi Adams, away from his story, and away from trying to get the episodes together, the ability of any institution, be it public or private, to carry out its mandate effectively depends on the availability of necessary and sufficient resources. Although it is always underestimated, information Information, and need I add, the right information is one of the key resources in enabling the accomplishment of organizational goals. And how this information is documented and stored matters a lot. Information is a fundamental resource to both government and the private sector alike. Information can be maintained and enhanced through appropriate records management. Effective record management is fundamental for good governance, for effective and efficient administration. You all will agree with me. In fact, it forms the basis for formulating policies, whether it be for government or private sector, or for businesses or for individuals, managing resources and service delivery. And of course, it enables an organization to find information easily and orderly. An efficient flow of information enables an organization to perform its functions successfully and efficiently. Before now, we used to hear of things like archives. Before now, students will move from one university to the other to go and source for information, the libraries of other universities. These days, the internet came to our aid. And even with the internet, it's quite difficult to find certain things. So the question for us this hour on the sunny side is very simple. What are the challenges associated with record keeping in Nigeria? And before we try to answer that question, have you ever been a victim of poor record keeping in Nigeria? Think deeply about it. It starts from the impute, when someone tries to impute data, it starts from the point of imputing data to where the data is stored, whether it's going to be on the computer or it's going to be the old-fashioned way where you have a logbook and something and document numbers are entered or file numbers are entered there. A teacher at some point in my life, that was in secondary school, explained to us, his student, how he was a victim of poor documentation when he was in law school. Then the River State University of Science and Technology, now the River State University, was studying law. And the person entering his data, in place of one number, put another number. And subsequently, he was discovered and he was, expelled, because it seemed like he supplied false information at the point of entry. But actually, it was not his fault. Now, that's just on one end. If I'm searching for that guy's data with the number that was entered, I probably will not find it, because somebody wrongly put a wrong number, and that has affected that guy. That was how he lost 4 years in law school and had to go back and start afresh. Some of us have had problems. I'm going to speak for myself at this point, because I'm not any different from you listening at the moment. I have been a victim. Several times people have misspelled my name. Several times people have misplaced my names. You know, every name is supposed to be written in a particular order. And if it's not written in that order, if it's written in this order in one document, written in another order, it may be assumed that they are two different persons. So imagine when your driver's license has your name written as Amadi Chiamaka John, when it is supposed to be John Chiamaka Amadi in one. Then your voter's card is written John Amaka Chiamaka. You know that these issues will always come up. So if someone is going to look for your document somewhere and says, write your name here, and they say, okay, John Chiamaka, they will keep looking for John Chiamaka Amadi. Meanwhile, there is a proper way for these things to be done. So have you ever been a victim of poor record keeping in Nigeria? It goes from not being able to find your file to entering of your documents, whether it's in the secondary school, primary school, the university, whether it's at your place of work, whether it's at the civil service, whether it comes to things centered on national registration like NIN, that's your national identification number, your voter's card, your driver's license, and all of these things. Let's talk. 0817 923 0002. 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007, and 0817-923-0009. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-030-6416. Please remember to turn off your radio set when you call, and please be audible so we can hear you. Dotun, good afternoon, Dotun. Hello, Dotun. Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is from Puerto Rico.
All right, go ahead.
Everyone, of course, in Nigeria has been victims of foreign constitution. Okay, I had my final year after I started over a course in politics from September to do that second part from Tawan, introduction to computers. I wrote this course in my third year. Then I had a feeling the kids were very strange to me, but I was particularly. So I had to rewrite it again in my final year. So when it was time to compete results, my department forwarded a wrong result, exams and records.
God, are you kidding me?
1 year, chasing them. This is my result. 1 full year, chasing them. That's one.
Oh, my.
After clearance, I was issued with the clearance certificate showing that I paid my school fees. I was not going to the department, I wasn't going to faculty, or anything.
Yeah.
Somehow I lost my receipt, my tuition fee, regional tuition fee.
Yeah.
So when I went back to school, I said, see, this is the case upon which you gave me a call-up letter to go for service.
Yes.
After my regional
I was
tuition
seeing your name and personality.
can you issue me my certificate?
Yeah.
You know the receipt. So that I should not get the original receipt.
Yeah.
I said that they gave me call-up letter based on this case now.
Yeah.
The petition is used. Now,
no.
I think that the reason why we have poor responsibility, first of all, is that history is not successful. If it is the government policy not to remember what has happened and to archive it,
yeah.
It is normal that you not find any record of anything.
Record. Wow.
But to change that policy of not teaching history, then we may not have easy access to information. That's just my take on this.
All right. Thank you so much, Dotun, and so sorry. Mrs. Zion from GRA. Good afternoon, Mrs. Zion.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Let's talk.
Thank you for this topic. This is a big problem we have. And a lot of us are going through this problem till today. Mine was some years back. I needed a transcript for some abroad studies. And honestly speaking, to get this transcript was like squeezing water out from stone. Oh my God. That was when WAEC officer was on a bar route. Oh my goodness. Imagine the distance I'm walking up and down to gather one piece, gather here, go to, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And it all narrows down to documentation. It's so annoying that the people they even kept there to do this work, they will say the Nigerian factor. My younger brother have this new registration. Do you know that the name they said he used and the name in the bank, they say it's two different things? Because what? One letter is missing. And what is an error?
Oh no.
You just like, but this is my photograph. This is my photograph. They said, no, go and bring affidavit.
Affidavit, yeah.
Upon showing an affidavit, guess what?
What?
When you went to the bank, the affidavit name and the bank, and the affidavit name and the name correlate, but the bank said no. And you keep saying this problem. Okay, that's a problem. And it all narrows down to how well have we studied mathematics and statistics in our tertiary institution.
Wait. I mean, proper documentation, how does it have to do with... For instance, I had this problem too. My name is Denise Dennis and then Beri. If you're going to use the standard format, it is Beri, Denise, and then Dennis. What is so difficult that you now have to change? It's like you know my name more than the owner of the name. So why does someone need statistics and maths to know how to impute someone's name correctly?
Bookkeeping, all these things are needed.
Really?
For futuristic purpose. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That is why when you fill form, the first column they will say surname. Second column, middle name.
And they still come back to make the mistake. Daniel. Okay, we lost the call with Daniel. They still come back to make this mistake. You clearly, okay, you gave me a form. This is the form. Name, surname, middle name, or however the format is. And I put it correctly. Then there is someone that is also saddled with the responsibility of putting this in a file. How can someone finish from a school and cannot go back to get maybe a transcript? I say you can't find the transcript. Or how can someone go and they say, oh, from this set to this set, we're having a particular problem with this set, we cannot find it, we are sorry. Doesn't make any sense that there is no proper record-keeping process. And Mrs. Zion is saying math and statistics, so everybody that works in the record-keeping department or documentation department probably needs to learn math and statistics. Does it make any sense like that? Okay, what's so difficult? Someone's date of birth is 1997, and you go and put 1979. And then you can't find the person's file with 1997, only to discover that what was put there was 19. And you know, some people will argue and argue and argue until a petition is written or until the person goes to court. Then they go and tell you, bring the original document where this thing was gotten from. Then the original document is brought forward, and you did see that what is there is 1997. It only tells you that the mistake came from the person that was in charge of documenting those things, the said person that denied. And then somebody had to lose how many years in the university because of the mistake of that one person. Nigerian folk, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I am Obed and I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Obed, you're welcome. Let's talk.
Yes. I've been victim of this discourse. mine happened to my national identity card that was done as far back as 2011. 2011. Now, as I said, there was one national ID identity card that was done then.
Yeah.
My name is supposed to be Ita Obed. But it was wrongly written as Obed Ita, which means my own surname now is Obed, as against Ita. So this actually affected me in my bank transaction at JT Bank there. At JT Bank, my real name was Ita Obed. But by the time I was asked to upgrade my account. I now have to take the national ID. So this was issued to me then, to the bank. I said, please, this is not your name. I told them, look at the picture, I did the biometrics, everything. I said, no, it can't be your name. This caused me to go to the court to swear affidavit. And I'm telling you, no big bank processes now. I had to go from one court to the other. I will come to the counter. I will be asked to stand down through this stuff. I was disturbed. But at the end of the day, after series of processes and months, I was able to effect the change. So this time around, was even my place of work. If you write my name wrongly, don't be this, I will be done whatever. I said, please, you have to change it. This is not my name. My name is Obed. So that's exactly the experience that I passed through.
That's true.
In my own case.
So sorry about that. Nigerian folk, good afternoon. Hello. Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm
You're welcome.
I'm not very long, and now all those names didn't put for me. My name is Ida Christian. When I put Ida Christian Jeffrey, which is my family name. Now all my data and everything, I wasn't go on. Now I think about it.
Wait, when you were registering, hold on. When you were registering, what name did you give to them?
I give them Ida Christian.
Just two names.
Now, you need to go control the line and come back. If I get my voter's card, now, but went to the original one now. They give me that Christian Deprie.
So where did you get the name Deprie from?
It's the family name. It's a compound name.
Hold on. Did you write Deprie on your form?
I didn't write Deprie on my form.
So where did the people collect the Deprie and put it for you from?
Guys, here they are now. It's Deprie compound.
Okay.
Yes. The one I made there, they cannot do anything again. So I'm there now. So go on. Thank you very much.
Seriously, because I had two classmates in the university. There was Okoro Grace and there was Okoro Grace Chinenye. They both the same names. Someone went to go and abbreviate one of them to Okoro Grace C. So it seemed like Okoro Grace and Okoro Grace C were the same thing because both of them bore the same name. People have misspelled my names. I'm talking about government officials. All this back and forth registration. Is it the one that spelled my name Denise as Denice or Denise as Dani? And I keep telling you, I'm sorry, it's not my name. I'm sorry, this is not my certificate. I'm sorry because it is not me. And part of the reasons why we may not have the details of so many people up on the space is because you can't even get adequate data for somebody. Why is it difficult for us to get data for some people? Why can't I just go to and this place and you go to your archives and you get me the information that I require? Why can't you go to this place and you get me the information that I require? Why can't I go to my secondary school where I can find my certificate and they're telling me they can't find it? Why can't I go and get my voter's card and they tell me they can't find my voter's card? They say, oh, the person that documented this bat was registered, this, the file is missing, this one is missing, that one is missing. And you are saying, wait. I'm not understanding you. Why is it missing? You're supposed to have a place where all of these things are kept. If this is from A to Z, why am I going to find letter Z between letter Q? Is it not supposed to be in a particular order? Because someone now takes your file and is going to check for you and they can't find it. Lo and behold, your file is already mixed up in, okay, what is someone from the humanities, Faculty of Humanities result looking for in Faculty of Management Sciences? This is how funny it can be. You go to exams and records and you're trying to find your name, or you're trying to find things about your particular student, and you're using maybe humanities, and they check throughout humanities and they couldn't find it. And someone says, why don't you go check for management? You go to you see someone's from humanities file in management sciences, or you see someone's file from medicine and surgery in another department. Why do we keep experiencing these things? Daniel, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon.
You're
welcome.
Well, EG, from what you are saying, I think keeping better. I think we have improved technologically. That is the reason why it is easier to keep this data today. Like the musician you cited, Tony Adam.
Yes.
It pains me a lot. You see, did you know that in the early 70s, as I am standing here today, let me mention these names, whether you have even heard of them, or those within your age bracket, whether they know them. Here in Port Harcourt, the reigning rock group that time was Head Funk, and Founders 15. In Aba, it was Original Wings, Apostles Rock Group, and the Three Men. Calabar was Dose. Lagos was Ofege. And Lagos also produced people like Sonny Okoso, which some of you now know. And many of them, Akwa Ibom also have Action Group. And many of them like that. And what I'm saying in what we are discussing today is that I don't know. Do you know that their music, I can't lay my hand on them now?
Yeah, I heard that some people went to the radio stations that used to play their songs in those days, and the radio stations even said that they don't have them. You know, some of this music was out in what's it called?
Because we don't have the data.
Yeah.
You see, just like we are saying now, I can't imagine when I hear they say Burna Boy winning because. The kind of music these people are mentioning their name now playing. Even if you hear some of them on your station now, that is why I call this new generation singers, I call them masquerade song.
It hasn't gotten to that.
Yes, because you can never compare what these people that I mentioned their names now, compare their music with it. Only those that we are playing highlight.
Music. And for we have preferences as well. Ikechukwu from Rukboko, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon.
Okay, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine, thank you.
Barika de Sala to you too.
Okay, based on the discussion going on now, I want to put it this way. All these things started from the moment this country started going about with this thing they call water system. Before this era of water system, the people in service, we are people that we are very detailed to the core. You know, those of our fathers that read what they call standard 6. You will agree with me that standard 6 of them is like University of Nam. That somebody in an office, you will be telling the person something, his mind is in another thing, he will be typing another thing. And even upon that, trying to teach you your method. And by the time you come back to make use of that thing, the officer had left that office and you will be the one to suffer it now. My point is that until Nigeria make a change and go back to that era of standard 6,
Just understand what I mean. We will never make a headway.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Now, before now, we usually would have common problems associated with documentation. I'll give you a practical example. We all heard of the fire outbreak in INEC offices in some states of the Federation, right? And one would say that these were the peculiar challenges in those days. One disaster happens. Maybe it's fire, maybe it's flood, and these documents are burnt, and you cannot recover them. But then came computers. Then came what we would call the standard database. So while you will probably want to collect data with pen and paper, it is up to you to immediately upload, right? And some of these documents, you can have them saved in the cloud. All of you business people that do business, or those of you that work with the computers, you would understand better what I mean. You save things to the cloud. We have things like your Google account that comes with some space, gig. I think, how many gig now for Google? You can save up as many things. You can save up pictures. You can save up documents. So as long as you're done computing them into the system, all you need to do is save, and then you can back up to these several places. And we still have those problems. So now my question is coming in two ways. If you've been a victim of this, tell us, what are the peculiar challenges we have? Is it the problem from imputing the data itself, or is it a problem of having it properly arranged, or is it a problem of storing it or backup? Because why is it impossible for you to find a file from a student that just graduated last year? Why is it impossible for you to get the original file from someone that went to register for voter's card? Why would you tell people that, oh, we are sorry, we can't find your voter's card? Why do we have this problem? Is it that we don't have a backup system? Because I doubt that is the case, since we have things at our disposal to back up. There's iCloud, there's Google Mail, there is several other backups. Oh, we even have our hard drives and flash drives. So is it that for those in the civil service, they will say, oh, we're waiting for probably the government to send a location for us to get backup devices like hard drives or flash drives to be able to back up this information? Because this era is gone. And in the next 10 years, you probably go to an office that you did some sort of registration for something, or maybe someone is even trying to investigate. It's that terrible. Now, maybe the police or the EFCC or the security agencies are trying to investigate, trying to find out details about someone, and they can't find anything about that person. Nothing whatsoever. They can't find it. Okay, let's go to the person's school, where the person is schooled. You go there, and we're looking for, can you help us get the file of, say, no, we don't have it, that we usually clear. Like, if we have these documents for 10 years, after 10 years, we clear the system, or we clear the space, so that we can accommodate more files. And one would think that the only logical thing to do is this. Let's assume that the problem is space. If you're going to clear these things from here so that you can have more room to accommodate fresh batches, how about these ones, you transmit them, you put them in a computer, or you take them digital and have them somewhere, so nobody is following you to one office that is filled with so many dust and opening the door and trying to go from file one. They just need to say, okay, can you give me something concrete to work with? Okay, use the search word Denise, and when you go Denise, everything about Denise is popping up. Is it so difficult for us to do? So even though I can't have the manual document, there should be a department that says, while we are packing out all of these things, let us ensure that this is not lost permanently. Let us have it saved up somewhere. That someone is done with primary school, and maybe for some reason couldn't get, what's it called now? Maybe a first school living certificate or one very important document, and goes back to his secondary school after 30 years, and they're telling you, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that anymore, or we had to clear room for more batches. Can I come to my school and say, search with probably this, or search with mat number this, or search with registration number this, and have all of these things brought out, and what they need to do is probably do a reprinting. So it's all encompassing, from the fact that you can't even find certain files, to the fact that your name is wrongly arranged, to the fact that you're given a wrong date of birth, to the fact that maybe you were born in the month of October on the 2nd, and rather than have 2/10/2021, you're having 10/2/2021. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007, and 0817-923-0009. Etetel, someone wants Simon, and Facebook says Nigerian government. What does Nigerian government have to do with record keeping and poor documentation in Nigeria? I guess the person is just, I don't know, maybe trying to be sarcastic or something. WhatsApp and Telegram number once again is 0809-030-6416. Nigerian Info, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome.
Thanks. You see, this issue has become a victim of circumstances.
Okay.
In my primary school days, the time I went to go and collect my school certificate.
Yeah.
I got to the school, the primary school where I attended, and the headmaster was searching from one book to the other, from one file to the other. I asked him, did you start for the school living? He said, I searched for it when he was the person at that time. I said, I can't just keep some documents. Okay, I said that, I said, sir, there will be a computer to all the schools to gather these things in the data to ensure that any person that comes, they can screw it out and bring out the person and refer him to Ministry of Education. In the need for this, there was no way. You saw one other instance. I said, it's my family name, but it's not my name. Because I put inside and inside. But the other one was inside with another name. Now they refer me back to Ministry of Education. As I got to Ministry of Education, they brought out an archive of that year in 1981. And they were schooling, they do archives from years to the, they don't put my own and then some, and my name was not the name. The name they put that was inside. Instead of inside and inside. I asked the man, but if people doesn't have a database that can store this name so that you can, as soon as somebody come and clear, at least to find his name, they can be able, they can only plug the computer and bring it out. He said government, he said this was okay.
Oh, the government, he said government.
And he said they have not brought the computer, they not have computers there. Or is there any other person to operate it?
Okay.
On this platform, I went back again. I have to go back. Even they reflected it in my school. I have to go back again. I met the man. How can I get this thing? It was later they misplaced it and put the name, and they should give me the original instant and instant. Like it was 2 names.
2 names. Oh no. Sorry. So sorry about that. Yeah.
And you see,
yeah.
The more I said that the modern system should be computerized at all the names. So that in fact this drive, what they call this computer drive, they put it inside each of the year. So that any person will be questioned for any case of that nature. They only put the drive.
All right, thank you so much. We need to go on a quick commercial break. Just stay tuned to us. right, welcome back to the sunny side. I'm just going to read quickly through your messages. Good afternoon, Dee. My dad always cautioned my primary school teachers about misspelling my surname. The only difference is just misplacing you with I. I have been very careful with that and other records. And Didi, please, what do you use as first name and last name and middle name? Your first name is your name. The first name. Your name. Okay? Your surname is your family name. Usually what? For some people that have two names. So it's your first name, Emeka John. If the standard practice wherever you are says surname first, then it has to be John before Emeka. And then the other name, middle name, should be any other name you choose to recognize with or recognized as. I have had this issue many times, but the one that readily comes to mind is when I went for a training in Owerri and the training money was paid. When I was already at the training venue, when I wanted to pay for my hotel bills, I found out that my card has been blocked, and this was 4 p.m. on a Friday. After all the embarrassment, I got to Port Harcourt on Monday, went to the bank, and they said my name was placed wrongly. So I insisted on seeing the form I filled, and they could not produce it. My name is Hope Dan. First name Hope, surname Dan. Problem. Everything. Good afternoon, D Square. I've been a victim of lackadaisical poor documentation. Mine was the permanent voter's card. They made a mistake with my age and gender. Whoa. Instead of male, they gave me female. My age, they brought it forward by 3 years. I had to use the razor to scrap off the fee. I tire for this country. TM from Oibo. Everything is a problem from inputs to storage and arrangement. TM send that in. Good afternoon, presenter. I am Ostaino from Oyibo. My experience was when I went to collect my original certificate. I searched for my file for a complete 1 week. I couldn't find it. I left the school disappointed. My second experience was when I wanted to open accounts with a bank. My BVN carried 12th of the month and my voter's card carried 15th of the same month. I was denied to open the account. Problem. Even Facebook and online media keeps people information more than Nigerian offices. Didi, my favorite, how are you? Well done. Thank you, Aminu. Didi, the name on my birth certificate is Chimeziem, but the name on my offshore safety permit was spelled Chimezie. And for that reason, I lost my job. Oh, no. Because the name on my ID card was different from the way it was spelled on my OSP card. Didi, no be juju be that. My brother, I feel for you. This is not a joking stuff. Some people have actually chosen to remain with a particular date of birth because of wrong documentation. It so happens that the most important one, I think they would even advise, use the one on your most important document and run with it. And some people had to change their name because there was nothing they could do about it. There must be a system to documentation. Nigeria doesn't have one. In some schools, there's no sequence stated for you to give your name. Thus, some students write first name, middle name, then surname, while others start with surname first, name, then middle name. Secondly, there's no perfect system. There would always be errors. In Nigeria, we do not have a system set up to correct. If there is, it will be highly bureaucratic and frustrating. Most people are architects of their problems. They don't differentiate between writing their names properly for official documents and social gathering. Example, Chiamaka will write Amaka on NIN and Chiamaka to open account. I work in a bank and the two names are not the same. Most of the time they are told to do affidavits to correct it. Well, what about some of us? I speak for myself. That will clearly, in short, I would even say, this is how I want my name to be. Oh. Then my documents will come out. I see another thing. Well, it's one of these things. The problem is enormous. Follow us on all social media handles, Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is at Nigeria Info PH and Facebook is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Follow me on Instagram at _DENISE_DENNIS. On Facebook, my page is Denise Dennis. It was a nice time with you today on the sunny side. Dayo Elusha King takes over from me on Hard Fact. Do have yourself a